Hi everyone, welcome to Cat Tarot Live. We are doing July today, Cancer actual transition. So let me play some music. Everybody should grab a coffee and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So let's do this. Hello everybody, how was your last 2 weeks? Hopefully you guys had fun. Let me go to the screen where you are. Let's see who is here. Oh, I have major backache. Oh my gosh, that you hear. And I don't know if it's better to put a pillow behind me or not. It almost looks like pillow is hurting. I probably should turn on my little infrared light and deal with that. That might help. Happy Saturday. Hopefully everybody enjoyed Strawberry Moon. Was really lovely. And Kylie, Knitting Yogi, yeah, enjoy your trauma conference. So let's see over here who we have. We have new Jurate or Jurate. Am I pronouncing this properly? Hi Chris, we've been thinking about you quite a bit. Hopefully you're doing well. And welcome to everybody, guys. So today we are doing something like that they call Cancer transitions instead of monthlies. I'm actually just doing the energy over the transit that sun is in a particular sun sign. It's a little bit easier and clearer to read that energy. Let me just get this speaker. I have kittens in the house, so basically everything is a mess. They're flying everywhere. Things are kitten proof, but still I'm learning every day what else I need to prove. So just the way it is. So let me see that can this be done a little bit better than it is, and see. Barbie is awesome. Barbie's our master. I almost said carburetor. I was just taking my French lessons and I had to learn carburetor in French. And guess what it is? Carburetor in French. Does it sound French to you? Le carburateur. So there you go. This is like my morning. and just like feeling my back got me, and I have to go and buy dog food and cat food, and I don't know how will I carry that. I just simply can't. But how this works is, as you know, and where is my little magic bag? Here it is. Magic bag is how I drew the signs. The first sign is always the sign who has a sun in transition, and we are this close as today, so we have both Gemini that is saying goodbye to us today, and tomorrow we are entering Cancer, so we are going to do both of them consecutively, and then I'm going to be drawing different things. And while I'm reading the sign, I'll have the little kind of like token here that you can guess which one is the next. If you guess correctly, you get one card draw for you, and so basically it's just going to give you a little bit insight about you. We're going to have two segments that we call doors. Barb, the moderator who is watching the signs and everything, she's going to slam her whip and say it's time for the doors. And that simply means you can ask your question and pick one of those cards on it to basically see the answer. It is yes or no, so it's not that accurate, as you know what I mean, because I have like shorter readings, I have longer readings. So let's say I get a really good card in a shorter reading, like, oh, you got 2 of Cups, awesome, everything is freaking amazing. But what if I had more time and I've seen that this card is follow up with Death or with 10 of Swords? It's really ouch, 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 don't even go there, right? So that's the difference. So, but keep this in mind, but like still it's accurate in terms of this would happen. It just might not have the length or longevity or something like that. So, is this the pen I can use? Not so sure I can use this pen on my Rocket book. I was doing cleaning. Better to say keep improving. So let me find the proper one. There it is. You see the difference? This one is a Sharpie. They look very similar, right? And this one is Frixion. So if I write on this with my Sharpie, it's never going to be erased. But with this one, I can simply erase it because that's what Rocketbook does. You use the same notebook forever. So, as I said, today we are starting with Gemini. So, happy birthday and happy belated birthday to Gemini. I don't know about you guys, but for the last while, I had nothing but, pardon my language, shit show. It was just from people being on the edge of life, my mother, and yesterday my dad was found meandering on a highway with 100 grand in small bills in his pocket, so driving without a license and insurance, so he's right now in merge. At least I managed to save him from criminal charges because he's clearly sick, but you know, I don't know, I hope your 2 weeks were better. But for me, I was just basically trying to see what I can help and how I can assist from a distance. So we are going to start with my regular deck that I use for monthlies, my cat deck, my favorite cat deck. And I'll be doing the clarifications with my gypsy cards that I really love. So, alright, so we're already having the guesses for the third one, because the first one is Gemini, second one is Cancer, and the guesses that you're going to see here being thrown are going to get, so when you see capital letters, what Barbie does, that means that's the sign that I'm reading or that has been read, because she does put a check mark. It's very self-explanatory. So let's start. Let's start Gemini. Let's see. Always after when we have a birthday, we go into that mode, right? Did you notice this? Like when the Pisces hit, and I'm so close to Pisces, like my birthday is on the 15th, Pisces are on the 18th. It's like, God damn, I want to enjoy my sign, right? So I have to train myself to start enjoying it like in the last end of January, and that's very, very important. Kylie, massive overall, perfect timing. Yes, it's the energy, it was like lots of death energy, lots of revival energy, is basically how we deal with that. So guys, you need to see where this was affecting you in your life and how do you really go about it. So that is very, very important. Oh, I'm just seeing the black kitty, my kitty matrix. sniffing the girl, and there's no kissing involved. That's freaking awesome. So we have two. You have the Priestess. You have Nine of Earth. So there is like something, usually when I see the Priestess, guys, to me that means that you have been pissed about something, but you're mulling and thinking about a way how to express it and what to do about it, right? I don't know if I should zoom it even further, if it's not going to be too blurry. Let me give it a try to do that. Nothing is simple, but at least I'm figuring out more and more. I'm sorry, I need to kind of like, let's see, is it doing nothing? What? Why is it doing nothing? What's going on? So weird. It's just maybe when I start I cannot do it anymore. That would not make any sense. But let me try it once again. Camera control zoom. Yep. I did zoom it. I did zoom it again. I'm going to put apply and nothing happened. So let's see if it's going to happen when I'm done. So let's do this. Alright. So Gemini. So the Priestess tells me that there's like something brewing underneath. You're silent and you're observing the situation. You're kind of like wondering in which kind of direction you really need to go. The Priestess is not very active phase outwardly, but it's clearly a lots of activity inside, right? In the meantime, you're making your life pretty comfortable. Over here I see Nine of Earth, but I also see this coming to the surface because you are getting this Sky Tome, which would be the Knight of Swords. And Knight of Swords is the reverse, which means maybe you're missing a point. Geminis are usually very quick. You really quickly can lay down what you want, how you want it, in which direction you move. But sometimes you can have fallacy in thinking, we can see it here. So almost like could also mean that somebody's blaming you and calling you for something. Keep in mind, this can be a very abusive person. This can be you, and you don't have to be abusive. It just like something comes out. Maybe, you know, like when we suppress and suppress and suppress and suppress and things happen, then you explode. I exploded at my brother because my mom was on the edge of her life, like, I mean, dangling like this, because he just, nah, I'm going to see tomorrow, I'm not going to take her to her, like 10 days like that, until he finally took her. She had a purple egg. So I don't know, is he a great son and taking care of her, or is he somebody who is not taking it seriously, which is the second that I took, and of course he got lashing, big lashing. So I don't know, it doesn't have to be as big as the dramatical over here. Oh, Katie Astrology, thank you, Kylie. So let me put the birthday sign over here, so that way they can click through it and see themselves. Merci beaucoup, Kylie. So let's see what is underlying this one. I really want to check a little bit, going deeper in this. And ooh, we have reunion reversed, and then we have sights. Let me get one more, and we have pleasure seekers. Now this gets interesting, and this is why I absolutely love these gypsy cards, because oh my god, look, I mean, they show us every emotion, and we majorly come to tarot. Yes, we want to see the long term and everything that is happening, but we also want to read, hey, how does he or she feels about me, what's going on, because emotions are pretty much this energy that our lives are outlined with them. And this is going to be crucial, as I said initially. So you're going to be rudely woken up, either with call to action, which is going to be almost like a tornado. Geminis are not tornadoes. Geminis are gentle breeze. So think about all air signs like wind. So Gemini would be this beautiful beach wind that you really want, right? You don't want to kind of like burn like a bacon in the sun. But Libras would be like freaking tornado. Like, you piss off Libra, look for shelter, right, Barbie? Like, I mean, she can tell us about it. And we Aquarians, we are in the middle. We can kind of go both ways, and it's really important. So there is like something telling me here that it could be that you have issues with an ex. Maybe maybe you have like one of those co-partnering, co-parenting situations over here, and somebody is really sad. Like this card over here, like, you know, sadness is sometimes shown outwardly as anger, as like really, really dramatic anger. So what do we see here? A lady, she has a card or a phone. Let's translate it to 21st century. The rose is down here, the boat is leaving, and this is a bench, but honestly can also look like an old style piano, right, if you really look. And she is in black, even though she looks really, really nicely dressed here to kind of like really admit it. But the card is called Sights. And like, I mean, these two cards are not great, kind of like coming together. And this one here generally talks about somebody having fun. So maybe you feel excluded. You feel that you're dealing with somebody who's either taking advantage of you, which is weird because you know really well how to make yourself feel good. And this is like what this Nine of Earth over here is. Look at the kitty. She is in freaking, and I think really this also depends on the people and our own perception of what wealth is. To me, this is wealth, that you can have this beautiful surroundings and abundance, and you can just say, ah, I feel like home here. Like, to me, this really speaks abundance, right? And many people are envious of that, but for the other people, abundance would be massive amounts of money on their bank accounts, and we all have kind of like different attitudes. So who do you think is happier? And also keep in mind that people who quote unquote have the method of quote unquote, I need to do that and I'll be happy and satisfied, these people are really never happy, and they actually did studies about it very much. But I'm telling you here about the underlying reasons, about the brewing thing, you know, and it just explodes like a freaking volcano over here, is basically carried in this card over here, right? So this is really talking about it, searching for an answer or solution, right? It is anticipation of some sort, but it can deal with separations and being widowed or divorced. So that's why my head went immediately, are you dealing with your co-parent or kind of like ex-partner, or even a partner? If you have a partner, it looks like that somebody in that relationship wants to be left alone, or there are two that are not necessarily rolling in the same direction, something of a sort, right? But if you are thinking sentimentally about somebody, like somebody just left on this boat and you're already missing them, right? It's so much more romantic than somebody like jumping on a plane kind of a thing, right? Then I would say would be positive. But I really have to say, giving the bundle of the cards, it looks like completely, if you have a teeter-totter, it's not in the middle. It's like one is up, one is down, and that is very, very clearly. And the one who is down is saying, oh, what's wrong with this picture? I am doing everything right to please you, to be right to you, to help you, and you are on the up. What the heck is going on, kind of a thing, right? But there's like sort of like the sights I always see as sights of love. Tiger probably has his doggy edition to this reading, and it's sort of like talking about the emotional response. Tiger! Can you hear him coming? What happened? Did you see people or birds? I had to stop feeding birds. I have the birds coming, ducks to my lawn, but it started to be party time. It was like 1 and then 2 and 4 and 8 and 16. So I just stopped feeding them. So guys, you clearly had a burst of activity that is now need for you to recharge your batteries. And keep in mind, Cancer transit. What is Cancer transit? Cancer transit is about this. It's about self-nurturing. It's about paying attention to your family. So you're looking closer to these details. You're looking and saying, okay, such and such thing, I really need to look at it. My kid needs, I don't know, dental care, like she needs braces, or he needs new pants. This is kind of like where you are going, but you are, for some reason, it doesn't show that financially there is something off, but it's just showing that, you know, you are not getting collaboration over here. There's like something that I don't know, just needs to kind of like talk about it. I don't know, guys, if you're dealing with Scorpio here, that kind of like also outlines a little bit. This is the moon principle. I don't know if you can see it in this deck. It's like tiny crescent moon. She actually should have the crescent moon on her head. So that's kind of like what we are dealing. So that's going to be active fully in about 1 week from now, and so that we are talking around 25th of June, and it's going to really last for very strongly for a week. But keep in mind that this anxiety, because that's all it could be, anxiety, kind of like doesn't necessarily, even if it's negative, for example, it's not devastating. Like this situation is not something that is going to take you off the course and now your life is changed. You're going to come to Kat and let's get my karma reading just to see what shifted, and oh my god, like am I going to be happy now? Because you feel that something happened. You feel you're going in a different direction. Like, kid you not, like we all have in these situations, oh my god, everything changed. No, nothing like that. For you, it's simply observational kind of a process. This also could mean that somebody doesn't want to attend something. I don't know, maybe you're inviting somebody, like, I mean, your birthday is now over, or maybe you're looking back for something that didn't necessarily really work out properly, and you're saying, why not? Maybe, because this can be in a third party, guys, as well. So maybe you're somebody's secret, maybe there's something not going public, maybe you're wondering, because you're wondering inside, why not? And maybe you're in a couple that doesn't feel like couple. So there are like lots of questions that basically you're asking yourself. So yeah, that's very interesting. So thank you, Barbie. Please like that. Really appreciate that for these live videos. I have been doing this live for the longest time. I have been toying with the idea to get off my lazy bum and do something, and just, if nothing else, thoughts. I have even charted some ideas for podcasts, but it still didn't happen. It always like feels like somebody comes in a way. So we said the second one is Cancer. So let me shift this to Cancer right now. So hello Cancer, and happy birthday. So you get, like, I mean, twice that you're going to be featured as a sign, so don't forget to tune in the next time, which is going to be 2nd of July. I don't know how many people will be here, hopefully, because Canada celebrates its birthday on the 1st of July. So both countries are Cancers. Canada is a Cancer and the US is a Cancer, the 4th of July. So yay to that. So clearly it shows that patriotism, and keep in mind what is going on with you Cancers. You are like, I better put my stamp here, you guys dealing with that chariot thing. Like, you are willing to fight for your beliefs. You really want to go in this direction, right? So the countries that rule with this, like this sort of like every person living there wants to kind of like feel this way, and it's so weird. It kind of like how it displays in completely different ways with the US. Like, you have the melting pot, and it's kind of like, let's all become one and we are stronger. In Canada we have multiculturalism, where it's kind of like really working. It's almost the opposite. It's almost like the other side of a coin. So everybody is something. So I don't know. Technically, I really don't like to assign myself something else because I come from so many different places. But technically, I would be Croatian Canadian, and that's what people say. I don't know. I'm German Canadian. I don't know, Israeli Canadian. So people always have something else they're bringing to this kind of like situation. And some cities in Canada that you haven't visited, like Toronto and Vancouver, the bigger ones, are just like absolutely awesome, because you can travel the entire world within the city just with that culture. So, and that's again feeling kind of like motherly, like that's the mother attitude, which is really important. So let's see Cancer, what do we see here for your transitions? This is going to be one of the bigger transitions. It's always very soft and subtle, that what happens during Cancer transitions, but it usually heralds really big changes. So let's see, guys. Please do share who is here. We have 12 people. Please, these 12 people, speak up. because I would like to know what massive changes you experienced, because I'm pretty sure you did. Something over the last 2-3 weeks has happened that you're either thinking differently and thinking about going in a different direction, or something has happened that you had to step in and deal with things that are not necessarily natural to you. Is this one or two? Ooh, we have two. We have a Six of Sky and we have the Ace of Fire. These are good cards. Look, I'm fed up and I'm not going to deal with, oh my freaking God. Cancers, I'm so glad that your birthday transition is going to be lovely. First of all, you might have been involved in some kind of dispute, or maybe you're watching family dispute and you're saying, you know what, I'm fed up. I am out of there. Off I go. That decision is putting you on an absolutely good path, right? Because you're getting this Ace of Fire. Ace of Fire is like a new beginning. All aces are new beginnings, and with new beginnings it sounds great, but it's sometimes scary. Like you're wondering if you should do this. Like, I always wanted to do that. It doesn't have to be really big, right? It can be even small, but like we always hesitate because, hey, it's tried and true. Why would I kind of like do this, right? So very important over here, because this is mixed with emotional. So what happens when we merge fire and water? Like you get steam, right? What else is fire and water? We have a hot lava. So you can see the range either way. You kind of like burning yourself. You still, even though it's kind of like rolling down like water, it looks like water, it's technically very, very hot, right? But this is a good combination. It can be cultivated. Like it can be dangerous as well, right? But it looks like to me that you removed yourself from this danger. I'm going to clarify and give you a little bit more information about that. But new beginnings always mean that at this time you might not see big changes. But I always warn, and I don't like the word warn because I want to use positive. I don't like certain words like cautioning you. It's just crazy. Always like sound like you're minimizing somebody, right? So maybe I should say, I just want to tell you that things are happening. So whether or not you are aware of that or not, it's very important that you know that you are seeding. You know, like that you're preparing garden for the spring, and my lettuce is just coming out. So it's going to happen. You put a seed in, you're not seeing things happening, but things are happening. They are brewing under the surface. So you need to trust. You know, that's the situation where you say just believe and kind of like continue going in this direction, because clearly you're opening not a new chapter but a new book. So it's very, very important. So let's see. Well, don't all chat at once. I know, Chris, right? Nobody even took me on the offer to say something. So let's see. Oof, despair. Oh, do you have somebody suicidal? I don't know why I went to it. It's usually not my first go-to. Do you have somebody suicidal in your family? I don't think this is you, clearly. This can talk about somebody being depressed. This can talk about somebody feeling oh my gosh, you should see the storm outside. It just started. Like, and I was just suntanning like 10 minutes ago, and barely got up from my hammock with my back. This is really interesting card, because if you look at it, hey, you want to kill yourself, but you want to kill yourself by holding yourself on a chair. Like, it's just like weird. But like, I mean, then we look into details. We see the woman over here with roses. So here, to me, it would kind of like give me some essence of possible rejection, or somebody's feeling that they're like being put down of some sort, right? The other cards are here telling that the help is coming, and in fact this is all going to be lifted. So if that was you, because from one to another, right, we do know cancers do get depressed and you don't communicate very much, that kind of like thing. But this is kind of like some jealousy, or maybe fear of being betrayed. Maybe you are with a partner who possibly is a long term, and you're saying, you know what, either it's going to be good and it's going to be normal, or I cannot be triggered all the time anymore. Because this is talking about feeling disgraced and cheated or betrayed. I don't know, it could also talk about scandals. you know, kind of like black sheep of the family kind of a thing. Shame, like when people in shame or fear, they lash out kind of a thing, right? You know what they say, hurt people hurt people. So the root of this card is in understanding that destructive capacity of jealousy, because that can lead to, I guess, despair and unreasonable thoughts or decisions, right? And jealousy of another man, if that's kind of like directed toward you, but I'm still trying to figure out why there are so many people here. This also talks about new beginning, but it talks about something that has been done before. That's why I'm tending to think you're staying in the same configuration, but you are negotiating different terms, right? So maybe you felt it was flattering that the partner was jealous, kind of a thing, but truly it's unhealthy and it leads to destructive behaviors, in extreme possessiveness or controlling. I don't know, somebody spying your email, phone calls, and this is really not cute. You have to ensure that you have your own integrity and that the trust actually exists. Otherwise, these bridges don't exist. You fall down all the time. So my advice here, and the Lord means, the Lord could be somebody married, or Lord is somebody who is right. This will be like this proverbial king of cups that is coming through. So it's a quantitative change. Is this you promising yourself, you know what, I need to lighten up? And that's why, I don't know why they call it freaking frivolity. It should be the lightness of being. But the butterflies are not steady, right? They go from flower to flower, so they really don't sit somewhere. And maybe this is it. You had a partner that you were not sure where you are, and if you're a woman, this could be arrival of a completely new man. This can actually link this way. And this whole idea over here, is just kind of a different situation. And they, one leads to another, clearly. And this kind of like is a difficult time. But do not project your fears and obsessions. If you guys are having a jealous partner, it's really time to slam your fist down and not to tolerate this, right? Because this situation that is emotional can actually lead to different layers, to financial issues, to trust issues, to reputation issues, and yet you're on the path to have such a freaking great time. It tells me that probably you have already worked on it, and I really like this card. It is really showing up and kind of like crowning everything, because Lord is like somebody who kind of like has their things together. What? You have a high pitch loud humming? What? What happened? Let me see. Maybe I'm going to remove my fan. Would you hear better now? Oh no, the sound. What happened? Let me see. Hello, hello? Can you hear me better, guys? Let me just see. That's so weird. In the middle of something. Good thing I looked. Oh, hi, Lorna. Is it better? Come on, guys, tell me. Did it get better? If it didn't get better, I can switch the sound to a different one. Nobody's telling me. Come on. Is it still bad? No? Stop. Hi, Sally. Nice to see you again. So, my dear Cancer, as I said, like you're landing on this Ace of Cups. You're landing on this Lord over here. And it's talking about somebody who's responsible, finally. Somebody who has a pretty penny. Somebody who can be protective and whose opinion you can trust and follow. It's kind of like really, really important. And did you see actually how everything got darkened in a second? Like that's kind of like what is going to feel for you during this month. Just keep in mind you just have to turn the light on, meaning you need to discuss, you need to put things on the table, you need to trust somebody's guidance and support. So you need to avail yourself of another's strength, generosity, and knowledge. And that's really, really important. It looks to me that you're already on the right path, you're already heading there. So it's very so it's very important to absorb this. Oh my gosh, I have a scratchy throat. Like how do somebody scratches their throat? Okay, we did have some guesses. Is it the ears? Still, it's a high-pitched sound. You know what? Let me change. I need to change to a different microphone because I can just imagine how bad this is. Settings. Audio. Okay, I'm not so sure. Microsoft audio. Why is it? Where is the recording audio? I think it's already on a thing. Okay, let's try this. Is this better? Can you hear me now? Okay guys, let's not continue. I'm going to put the next one. You can start guessing, but I'll talk to see if this high-pitched sound stopped or not. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's okay now. Sound is better. Okay, I switched it to a different microphone, so hopefully that's going to. Oops. Good. Awesome. All right, Leo. We had Virgo. I think Chris threw a Virgo hat in there. Leo. Anybody else, guys? Kind of like do the guessing. You can get your own card. Can you hear it? Thunders. Ooh, guys, you were so close with Leo. That's the same axis, but oh my God, like you just persist, like you're really reading the perfect good energy. So not this time, no cigar, but I'm going to put the next one here, so you can start guessing the next one. But for now, let's do Aquarians. That's very unusual, Aquarians getting the reading this early in the game, but so be it. I can use some encouragement, like really. Like this last 2-3 weeks was like not great. All right, Aquarians, Barbie, you're also close. You missed by 1 day. You missed 1 day. So Aquarius, let's put your sign, kitty sign over here. My new 2 kittens are Pisces, so that's going to be a really interesting energy in the house at this stage. One is very cuddly, and the working names are Onyx, because like there are 2 black kittens, but one is having a reddish hue. So for that one, a girl, a Jasper, and for the boy, Onyx. Unless you guys have suggestions, which I'm open to because I still didn't decide 100% on the names. So let's see. Aquarius. When the moon is in the 7th house. So we have the wheel. We have the 10 of C. And then we have Sky Kitten. Oh, of course, like, I mean, this is a fly in the ointment over here that I'm seeing. This is really good, guys. This is a karma card, the wheel. Karma is spinning in our favor. So everybody wishes a little bit of luck. You see these like little cats in the Chinese stores, like going like this. This is to, hey, luck, come to me, come to me. So like they know that the elusive quality of having that is really important. Is like even more important than, you know, like having all the money, because luck makes you not to be unhealthy, kind of like find a proper solution and so on and so forth, right? So then we have 10 of C, which really talks about family gathering and appreciation. Interestingly, they're both 10s. So pretty much like Cancers, and Cancer usually gives us a baseline like for this month for the entire, basically all 12 signs. So we are seeing here that is like the turning page, just as I told you, right? Something is really going on, and this is the full moon. We just finished Strawberry Moon. What is the one that is called in July? I forgot, but that one would be done around when? Just trying to calculate, it's 29 and a half days. So we're talking middle of July. We're having some full moon, and this is going to reach absolutely culmination of this. So usually Wheel of Fortune, you don't know how long it's going to last. It's a Jupiter energy, which is expansion. So anything that you think you need to expand, investments. Ooh, did you hear this? Investments, or you should see the kittens. I don't know if this is their first storm or not. And I really hope you're going to have the connection. I don't see why we shouldn't to have a fiber optics. But if we lose it, I'm going to finish the reading and just place them online. So the wheel can spin, as you can tell, fast or slow. It depends if the cat needs to lick the paw or something else takes the attention. But in this case, it's going to stay with us for a while. And this is really important. Well, the fly in the ointment is going to be this. There are going to be some kind of harsh words. And I feel this is going to be after the middle of July. So that basically gives us a time period between the 15th and I guess 20th. Something in that period of time is going to happen. You guys hear it, huh? So the thunder is again clarity. It's again the energy. You should see the pouring down. Wow, so glad I had this sun tanning in the morning. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to do it after live. So glad I did it. So let's see. I really want to see what is this hiding behind this. And this one also wants to come. Are you sure you want to come this close to the window? Matrix just came right to the window. I'm always nervous when I see that. So we have falseness reversed over here. We have gift. Do you have a false friend? Do we have a false friend? And scholar. It just looks to me that you might have the word with somebody. This is Matrix, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, he doesn't come frequently, so this is a major luck over here. What's up, Mr. Matrix? What, you want to come to water? It's just tough. He has to get what he needs to get. That's what means having a Taurus in the family, right? Comforts of life. Here you go. I put the ice cube in your water. No? Okay. It's just to see that I did it for him. And that's kind of what matters. Again. So let's see, when falseness is reversed, that cannot be serious, right? So some people say it's kind of worse than just regular falseness, but I disagree with that, right? I really feel this is something working out. Maybe because Aquarians are such odd birds, right? We are, especially when it comes to family matters, you really... many signs spend freaking centuries trying to figure out in which family they're going to be born and how they're going to see what they're going to do in this life. Aquarius, you know what? I feel like traveling. I want to travel now. And okay, this family is free. I'll jump in. Oh, never mind the problems and everything else, right? You have to deal with it. That's why Uranus gives us this ability to kind of quickly react because of these kind of very immature and sudden decisions, right? But when it is kind of reversed, to me, indicates the period of the ending of that falsehood, right? So the truth, because this is very truth and somebody's speaking their words, something is coming out. You know, sometimes you have a passive aggressive person in your surroundings and it's kind of hard to pinpoint because they say the right things, but how they say it and how they act is a different story. So you always need, and this is like a therapist and a tarot reader, you always need to take a passive aggressive person from passive aggressive to aggressive. And I think something like this will happen. It's really interesting what is coming through. It's gonna blessing in disguise because the gift card is also showing up. But here is really telling me that, could have been a gossip or slander or somebody mad at our really good name and we are now fighting for it, right? But this is also showing the truth came out and it's proven right now, and it's kind of going in a completely different direction. I absolutely love it because this is also a learning lesson for everybody. It's not going to be nah, you did it to me now, I told you so. No, it's going to be feeling uniting because it's going to be a learning lesson for everybody. And it's kind of like Aquarians are going to feel recognized and what's the word, cleared, I guess. and the other person is going to understand that there are like more takes in life, that you cannot jump to any first thoughts and first conclusion, because the scholar is giving us a tiny little hint that somebody didn't have their facts straight. And now when these facts are coming through, this also could mean some kind of money. Gift is not necessarily a lottery, but I would be able to even tell you that. For example, you need to go to the employer, or you need to, if somebody's owing you money, or you need to go to the government, money might be coming through to you. And that's kind of like really important here to know. All right, did we have another guesses? Guys, what is it? Nobody's talking? Like, so I should just stop doing this live if nobody's talking, guys. And like, I should record this beautiful rain and thunder. So hopefully all of that plans are going to work. So what is the next one, guys? Did anybody guess? No guesses? I'll just continue. Guys. I'm going to shuffle cards, and by the time I'm shuffled or finished, I am going to open this card. So here we go. We have some guesses. Kylie jumped in. Leo. Ooh, people feel like fire. Look at that. We have... Sound is echoing now? Is it? Is it still? I have like 11:11 as an average view duration. I'm having really a little bit kind of like goosebumps. Please tell me if it's still echoing. So now we have Virgo next. Did we have anybody guessing? Not that I can see. So Virgo is next, and I'm going to put this card here for the next guess. No, but I think Knitting Yogi is a Virgo, so she's going to have her sun sign read. Let me put here the stamp. You ready? Virgo. Is it still echoing, guys? Is it getting better? Okay. Because I'm on a pro microphone right now, I don't know why it wasn't on it, but I guess we are still in Mercury retrograde for a few days, right? And it's still having lots of issues with big times. So Virgo. Ooh, Virgo. So we have, and I'm not so sure, it came out like this. So if I have this, then this is going to be this way. It's almost like the same, because one is very positive, one is very negative. So either you're going to have some kind of like negativity, either or. Either like the luck is going to kind of like turn away from you, or you're going to feel isolated. Some of these kind of like things might happen, but clearly, like, there is like karma in action over here. And oh boy, I don't know about you people, but I was watching karma in action over the last 2 weeks. Literally, I was really holding back of saying I told you so, because it was like, I can't believe it. I didn't expect anything like that coming throughout my life, that you hear it, but like I saw it. It was like not one example, but 3 or 4 or 5 examples. It was like, whoa, this is really, really crazy. So that's kind of like what happens. So you have Aquarius rising and Virgo sun. So it's, you look at it for you, like you're getting one long read over here. So we're having a journey. And the 6 of C is a little bit of Mercury retrograde. Altogether adds to 21. Which talks about the switch in energy, guys. If you're used to, and Virgos are very used to certain kind of like process, kind of like schedule is very important. I have a neighbor who is a Virgo. Oh my gosh, he helps me a bunch in kind of like figuring out how to take care of the house and the garden. And I can see this guy is up early, like has his coffee, then tends to the garden, tends to the front yard. Like he literally kind of like goes through that schedule every day, and he thrives on it. And I'm almost envious, but I said, no, I right now feel like having a coffee. Well, right now I feel like studying French for 5 hours. Ooh, well, right now I feel like cooking. Kind of like I don't have that. Like only one thing that I have in common is like that I actually really drink coffee every day. So if I don't feel like coffee, then I know that I'm sick. It's clearly like that. So what do you guys have here as additional information? And I think this is referring to this switch. So you have a journey. This is clearly going in a new direction. Like the world card that is like hiding in plain sight over here, it talks about that going the next phase of karma, that you really need to deal with that. So you have a merchant reversed and you have a house reversed. So is there some kind of business that is connecting your house to business, business to the house? Something is getting up, sometimes is getting down. Merchant is kind of like the proverbial business person. You need to put it in perspective. That would be like a thriving small business back then, but it can also be seen as cunning and crafty. But it came reversed, which means it can be some kind of business failure. Clearly, this is talking about something from the past or something that has been a failure because it's connecting to this card. It's also telling you that you shouldn't start anything new during this transit. And it could be something connecting to the family or something that is connecting to family money. It can also talk about friendships and work situations because of the house here. Because it almost looks to me that somebody is not, what's the expression? They're not holding up their end, right? Or maybe they don't have the necessary skills or talents for success. So be very kind of like wary of partnerships, right? Because that can end up kind of like going to some kind of disappointment. In particular, I need to tell you, in this particular situation, you need to be careful of Capricorns. Because somebody's going to come up with a really good plan that makes sense, but ultimately you might lose the shirt off your shoulder and the house. So this is really telling you not to really look in the past, because there's like something you're looking back with regrets almost. But this is really telling you, no, you really need to move forward, right? This journey is almost like a rider in Lenormand, which really talks about, no, you know what? Like pull yourself up by the bootstrings and kind of like keep moving. Journey can also talk about moving away. It's a very positive card, so hence it minimizes the impact of the other one. This can be also trip or vacation as well, but it's clearly about going forward or evolution of a situation. There's like something that is kind of like buried in it, and it's just like life, and this is about life, and this is about evolution and moving forward and keep moving, because here staying still, and maybe this is the problem, if you're staying still, if you're not doing anything, it results in missed opportunities. So this is kind of like a caveat. If you're stuck in the past, if you're doing same old, it's not going to go forward. And that's kind of like what is kind of like clearly outlining here. But here I would say, whatever the case is, about this kind of journey that you get, it suggests to you that you need to abandon that old. And in some cases, I don't know, are you saying goodbye to something or someone? This could mean that like Five of Earth is like a feeling isolated, not being accepted, not being supported by the family or by somebody who you cherish, because after all, you see the kitty looking at the other cats, enjoying themselves in the warmth, and always like it's like we are feeling bad for the kitty outside, but actually cats don't mind that, and to them independence is more important than this golden cage. So keep that in perspective as well. So this, to me, it's really that change of residence, but you are not making a move for some reason, which is possibly really good, because again, if you're doing it for a business, it wouldn't be a good idea. If you're doing it for a personal reason, then I would say go ahead, right? So if I saw, for example, the room card or letter card, I would say it would be more trouble. But this is almost like bigger move, journey of changing place. So you're getting like a lots of kind of like connections over here. So keep this in mind. So maybe even if I separate them this way, even though I was kind of like really basing them on the Six of Cups. Six of Cups always talks about going back to your primary purpose, but sometimes we over romanticize this. But in this case, it could mean that you're longing for something that is not good for you in the first place. So keep that in mind, right? So, woof, that was long. So let's see. Who is next, guys? Keep guessing. This resonates. Well, Sally, anybody who is here on live is going to get things that resonate for any sign reading, because that's why we are here on live. So I don't know, I always interpreted that we have the spirits who are probably maneuvering these cards and making me kind of like take them out, pushing themselves through my intuition. I was just watching Strange Things. Now in French, I'm just trying to study everything in French, and so I'm watching it for the second time, and it's really talking about this alternative world that exists together with us. It's just like, where are we, and are we going to allow ourselves to be imprisoned? So that's very important. Alrighty, we have the guesses. We have Pisces, we have Leo, we have Capricorn, and we're getting Gemini, so this one doesn't count. You're still guys going, because we did read Gemini first. Then, oh, Scorpio is the name of a day. I think this thunderstorm is probably setting off your kind of intuition, and that's what's happening. Let me pull out the next one over here. Let's put this for the next round. So, Scorpio. So we are having another fixed sign for today. So let's see. Oh, did I forget to change? Oh, did I forget to change? I maybe didn't even look. I was still in Aquarius and I was reading Virgo, blah. Pardon me, everybody. It happens when you just get into your reading, but let's try to make it clear right now. So, Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. What do we get here? Scorpio. What do you guys say about the prices of gas? Fun, huh? Oh my freaking god, I can't believe it. I actually have to counter, like, take in account how often do I go out now. I never ever in my life thought about it. It's so weird, huh? Right, Scorpio. What do we get here? So we have the Hermit. Ooh, we have the Priestess. And then we have the Sky Kitten. It looks to me that this Cancer transit is going to have lots of clearing the air. So if things kind of like go in a bad direction, if they're like bad words, if there are like discussions, altercations, anything like that, this is like done for the purpose of resolving something. In your case, guys, you're like really the mysterious one here. Like, I know you have this reputation, but look, you have a crescent moon in both of these cards. And that is going to happen, what did I say, in about, so now we have a full moon, so it's about 2 weeks period. So by the end of the month, I think just around the 25th, you're going to be entering this phase. So both of the cards are really talking about internal processes, right? The Hermit is sort of like the Hermit is, what do you call this, pomegranates, I guess, right, in English. And they symbolize richness. They symbolize a lots of little kind of like seeds and fruits inside, right? Cats don't eat them, but being surrounded with it, it just like means you are like in a comfort zone. So there is also 11 over here. There is like some emotional healing that has to take place, and for this emotional healing something has to be said. Maybe you are a person who doesn't like to I guess beat the old horse kind of a thing, or simply you kind of like a person who you cut somebody off, you cut him off for good. You just kind of like don't want to deal with that, right? But this is really weird. This is like silence. This is not even crickets. This is silence, hearing nothing. And all of a sudden, like oh my god, you did this, and why? Like, it's almost like getting a text out of the blue from somebody who you didn't hear from years, and they're blaming you and they're screaming at you, they're telling you things, they're telling you off. So this is kind of like where this is really interesting. But the priestess is internalizing those, let's say, findings about the people and your experiences, and just observing. It's almost like, to me, this card always says, give them a rope, let them hang themselves with it, right? Because you almost like are setting somebody up. So please take a note, if you're dealing with Scorpios, that they're playing a long game at this stage, and they're playing it really, really well. So take this in account. And so let's see what cards you get in addition here to this. Ooh, you get Death. Whew. Well, that is you, so I'm not really concerned about that. So, I don't know, are you breaking up with somebody, Scorpio? Or you... Loyalty, Death, Faithfulness, and Child reversed. Which is really weird, because to me, like between Scorpio and Pisces, the Moon card, like, I mean, these two cards would basically interpret that they're like both water, kind of like a signs, right? But the Child is reversed, so something is not coming through. So the Scorpio would be this death and renewal, and then we have a new child, and we have a new process, we have a new life, and it's a direction that you are so freaking committed to. That's why you have this faithfulness. Or almost like this could mean I would have died for you. I would have done anything required from me. But something is breaking on your back. I mean, this is a child. This is a sky kitten. This is not even a sky tom, right? If you really look at it, like, I mean, you can see this dandelion is going to be stepped on because something else is more important, something else matters. And, ooh, Scorpios don't like to be neglected. And that's kind of like, nobody puts baby in a corner kind of a thing, right? But then when we get this, like, really fragile child card that is coming through, I guess the simplest interpretation here, I would say, it's maybe desire for motherhood or pregnancy, and needing to have somebody, and you're really almost like obsessed with this, or there's like something about your motherhood, that aspect of it that you really are thinking about, but something is not going to get realized over here, right? But if motherhood is not on your radar, then I would say this can talk about indecisiveness. It can talk about anxiety. And anxiety is simply kind of like, oh, I've worked so hard for something and I'm not getting it, right? And that can be also this internal processing. It's lots of meditation, lots of kind of like processing. Like, you know how I said, like, Aquarius really jump and to come into this life, while some other signs really do all of this research, like Virgos and Scorpios will be also. So they kind of like turned every stone, and now they're a little surprised, kind of like this is kind of like what it is. Chris says, well, little does she know, she met her match. I guess we'll decide this in the next live. Interesting. Is that about the Scorpio reading? I guess probably it is. I know you're a little bit delayed. But also, guys, here I will have to say this is talking about immaturity. This is both immaturity and imprudent actions. And the best, like, these are all very solid and heavy cards. When you have like this big boulder, like, I mean, you cannot move it. You need other people to help you, and then it leaves the mark. But these are tiny little stones, right? Like, which kind of like end up under the car and kind of flick somewhere, right? Break your windshield. So it's just kind of like a different quantitative response over here. You know, something will not be born. So this also means this is also communication in words. So this is not going in that direction. But is there an energy? Is there a process that is taking place? Is there something that is going on? Absolutely, right? It's kind of like weird that there is like we have 9s, you know how we had all this once, but we ultimately have 11. So there's not 1, but there are 2 ones. And when you have 11, it's weird, even in the Stranger Things, if you guys watch the show, this special kid, I don't even know what I want to call her. She was programmed to kind of like have supernatural powers. Her name is 11, and she has the tattooed 11 on it. That was not coincidence at all. But I think, guys, you almost like want somebody to swear to you their devotion. Faithfulness, does it include love? Is faithfulness bigger than love, or is it smaller than love? What you guys think? To me, friendship is bigger than love, and I guess faithfulness for me would rank about the same. I guess it's completely different emotion, but you can have love without faithfulness. We know that, right? And you can have love without friendship, and that's why we walk away from many relationships thinking, what the heck was I thinking? But if we have faithfulness and friendship, so that means you're progressing to the higher level. So this is about trusting your instincts. It's also very similar to the High Priestess, guys, as well. It's also about the teamwork. It's also about following the leader kind of a thing. It's somebody who really knows. You're like really learning that there are certain things that are not debatable. So either those relationships or situation. So it's working relationship, it's a faithful partner, it's a friendship. So there's like these 3 layers that you're really looking into that and processing that. So Cancer, I guess it's the sister sign for you, and it's the emotional sign, and this is also kind of like taking you down into kind of like that level. It's going to be a lot of who am I, what do I want, and I'm not going to, I guess, I would not say jeopardize that. I'm not going to negotiate things that I don't think they're right for me, and that is going to be really, really highlight of everything. So there, guys, you guys keep guessing for this one, and I'm going to remove this sign not to forget and shuffle the cards while you're guessing, so we can see who is next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, one more before the break, and then I think Barbie is going to call mini doors readings. So let's see what you guys have. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, Capricorn. It's getting better. Yeah, less signs now, and the thunder is clearing. It's almost like getting bright outside. So maybe after all, I will end up suntanning on my deck. Okay. Look at Mr. Mouse. Is that a good thing or not? Oh, I hope it's a good thing. All right, shuffled. Let's see, guys. You did throw your towel in, and ECAT. ECAT, like, you know what? She's proving the statistics work. Don't you always, you had Aquarius before, or did you always have Leo? Tan, 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 tan. And you know what? Like in Croatia, we have a saying, even a blind bird is going to find a seed. If you keep doing this kind of like all the time. You guys have the echo again? Is that the echo? Is that what you mean by that? All right, so do you want me to go back to see the other microphone and to see how this affects us, or do you want me to continue with this? So which one was this? It was a Leo, and this one's going to be pay to the woman behind the curtain. Okay, alrighty. Thank you, guys, because you know this doing the tech things while you're trying to tune your intuition is a little bit difficult. So ECAT, you're getting your card first. Comes and goes. You know what? Let me turn off also my air conditioning, because I'm just thinking, because this is a really good microphone, it could be picking up all the sounds. So ECAT. Let's see, the first winner of the day, ECAT. Oh, this one wanted to come out. You're getting a Wheel of Fortune reversed, madame. So this is telling you, you basically play your cards right now because things are turning and they're turning down. So you have been on the top and now the cycle is going to repeat. So, or prepare yourself that it's not going to be easy win, that you're going to have put some effort, but it is a karma card. So something is really switching, and it's switching in a direction that initially you might not like, but it's cyclical, right? So this shall pass, kind of like a thing, the Buddhist thing. I would not be nervous, just don't expect big things kind of like to happen, because right now you're kind of like on a down curve. You're not in the rock bottom, but you're going down from the top. So keep this in mind. So let's see, Leo, put your stamp here. How am I doing with time? I think I'm okay, sort of. But these are monthlies, so monthlies are always a little bit longer. And I really, really was looking forward to this monthly. Oh my gosh, all these energies in the air. Just wanted to see what's going on. So, Leo, is this better with the sound right now, guys? Oops. Oh my god. So we have 3 of Swords. Page of Swords, just Sky Kitten, and Grace. Let me see, what does that mean? So 3 of Swords is, as you know, a painful card. It talks about not getting what we want and feeling pain about it. And it's like really the dull pain, like somebody's putting a sharpened knife through our body, and it's just hurting, and it shouldn't be hurting. So when it's reversed, this is kind of like on the way out, but it's still hurting. Like, you know, it's going to soon be done and over with, but there's like still something that is kind of like connecting to it. And I really think you maybe have been silent about something, because this card is really good. Because look at it here. Like, where is my pencil? What do we see here? We see cats creating freaking damage everywhere. So you can see here on the bottom, there are a whole bunch of broken things. If you guys ever owned a cat, I don't know why, but cats have this big thing about throwing everything off the table. It's just kind of like, I want a clean house, like too many things, and just let's kind of like remove it, right? So we can see this happening. It's a massive damage happening. So when this reverses, you need to put all of these pieces together. And as you know, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it cannot be done, right? There are lots of things happening, but also what you see, you can see the ruling cats, which are on the top, and some of them in different hierarchies. But when it's reversed, you really feel like you are that broken piece. You're on the very kind of like rock bottom. But interestingly enough, the Sky Kitten, to me, the Kitten's card or pages are very similar as aces. So this is an action card because it's number 3. Like 1 and 2 are still not, but they're like those seeds that you just put it in. So it's almost like you're backtracking. Why are you backtracking? You're backtracking to something that you're questioning yourself why you got there in the first place, right? That's kind of like the weirdest thing, because it almost like feels to me, for me, that you're blaming yourself for some kind of situation. That you're saying like, I found myself here and nobody, like I should have known better. There are some kind of words being spoken out, and the Grace or Temperance card here, it's absolutely lovely because she's walking this path, and we know the cats don't like water, especially not Siamese cats, but she is merging this kind of like fire and water here, and it's creating something completely unique. It's creating that rainbow, which we can see in these ribbons. So which part of the rainbow, and I'm really surprised how they actually painted the rainbow. Clearly not much thought has been in it, but maybe it was, maybe I'm not seeing it properly, because I don't know if you can see it. First of all, it's almost like a castle. It's a castle made by nature over here. So she's walking away, and as we can see, this path disappears behind her. So red has the lowest energy. That's why you should never buy a red car, because it's going to look like crap very, very soon. And I'm surprised they're not producing purple cars, which would last the longest, right? And anything in between, because the purple has the highest energy and the red has the lowest energy, which is really interesting because purple is actually mixed of blue and red. So you're wondering, like, okay, how much is that blue making a difference here, right? So blue and purple is clearly advanced kind of like mode over here that is really happening. So to me, so it maybe makes sense. It's saying like you should always go for the highest level of a decision versus on the lowest level, right? And keep that closer, right? Because this is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is always connected to big thinking and big goals, and sometimes they are like freaking annoying, right, Kylie? Because why wouldn't we think like, increasing like $10 million and you were just trying to get $100 in, kind of a thing. It's kind of like, oh, not again. But it's good. Like they actually enter the space that you get this attitude that you're saying, no, let's not be in a paddle all the time. We can dream about oceans. It's almost like the Plato's allegory of a cave. If you guys didn't read it, it's a short read. I do advise. It's really talking about having your head in the mud, or being able to open yourself out to different influences. And there is like a fixed sign talking about change, which is really difficult. So let me see, Leo, what else do I get over here? Oop. This one was flying and flying and flying and landed like that. So we have carta, or letter. Then we have a friend, and then we have a soldier. So did my dear Leo got betrayed by a friend? So this also can talk about a third party, guys. Letter can mean text, right? We are just in a different it's like, tell me about it. I'm learning French and I'm thinking like, why do I need to learn about a phone book? Kind of like that doesn't exist anymore. Interestingly, that there's like somebody here who is still standing for you, but this can also mean that somebody is really guarded. The soldier to me is about secrets. So are you doing something in a secretive way? Text from a friend who is secretive. Text from a hidden friend. Letter from a hidden friend. So they're like usually two distinct interpretations, especially about the soldier card over here. I would say one is a lack of protection. So if you don't want to get pregnant, you might have the opportunity to be surprised, right? But this can also talk about you questioning your friend, not friends, friend, that somebody is not trustworthy or cannot be counted on. And the second interpretation would be you're dealing with an untrustworthy person, which I don't think it's the case because the friend card is upright, right? So it could be just unjust situation to you of some sort, or person that you have in your life who is keeping it from moving forward, or somehow, I don't know, hinders the development of the relationship, right? If you're talking about business here, because they're swords, they're generally not thinking of business. It could, in business, we kind of like hold back our sharp words. Generally, all of the bad things comes in personal relationship. But in business, it would talk about fierce competition, or that you have very disloyal employees. You get the whiff, right? Like it's the same kind of like flavor. So that would be like the 10 of swords over here. So we have a sword and a sword and a sword. So there are 11 swords here combined that we are really dealing with. So it's kind of like about force and aggressions and something that is secret and unhospitable. So it is also Scorpio type that I can see over here. I see this Pluto energy, kind of like something cannot be known. But this is really interesting that you are finding a solution. And that solution is that something that seemed to be impossible to resolve, that possibly felt like dead end, somebody was guarding it, holding it. Now the gates are opening. And it's just great. And the gates are opening if you speak up. This is why the Sky Kitten is not the most, I guess, diplomatic speaker, like steps on things and people anytime, not because they want to. They're not mean, but they're kind of like didn't refine their communication art. So kind of like if you know that their heart is in the right place, you kind of like can work with this. That's much easier than somebody just knowingly being mean or malicious. So that's completely different story. So you guys are during this transition, look at this, we don't have cups over here. There's like not much emotional. We are dealing about feeling integrity needing to be protected. Maybe somebody's putting their arms down. Maybe somebody's just realizing, I don't know, what are you saying? You're saying, I don't feel this way. I don't want it this way. This is painful. This is hurting. Maybe you're getting through to somebody. So it's going to be really interesting. Leos, please leave your sentiments over there. I want to know what's going on. But this is like a rainbow. And like also it says that you cannot manipulate situation. And this is why the purple probably comes through. Because you have to think about the highest. I have the full sunshine outside. You have to think about the highest level. Working with your highest energy, with the best self. So you cannot be selfish. You can say, you know what, this makes no sense for you, for me. I know because I feel this way, but not for you either. Because if you are not, I don't know, committing yourself to me, then why don't I leave the space for you that you can meet somebody who is good for you? And just simply, you know how it works in a relationship when you're really chasing after somebody, this person is just annoyed that this keeps happening. So it's almost like by stepping away that you are, you're kind of like being seen in a different spot. And kind of like that really works ultimately for you. So let's see. Chris is having fun with things. So let's see who is next here. When was this? Did we read this one? Yeah, that was Leah. So which one is this one? Oh, no, we have doors. Don't we have the doors? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have the doors. And then we'll have this one. So, guys. Yes, thank you, Barbie. She was ahead of me, except I needed to wait for getting that. So Leah is no longer going to be. So we are going to put this while I shuffle. So guys, think about the question that you want to have answered, and you'll see I already have 2 cards. It just came right out. And let's go for the third one. So I have, which cards are you picking, guys? Whew. I'm feeling lots of energy here. Oh, now it switched to the bigger zoom. Okay. How did that happen? I don't know. Did it switch over here as well? So we have Kylie number 3. Sally had a phone call company. I guess Miss Leo, sorry, got to go. Love you, honey. Go and check it out. It's just about 1 hour, 1 hour, 9 minutes that it happens. So card number 1, guys, is the Empress. The Emperor, pardon me. Why did I say the Empress? It's kind of like creating your own map of the things. This is clearly yes. And I love that they have the dog. Oh, he has a cat as well. That's freaking awesome. Cat is more important than a dog. Is protecting him and he's protecting a cat. This is a really good energy, guys. You're going to be in control. You call the shots and things are coming your way. Number 2 is the Sun. It's a really good energy. It's a motherhood energy. It's sons and masculine energy as well. It is kind of like getting your spot in the sun. This is also resounding yes for this answer. Just you need to be transparent, you need to be seen, you need to be heard. Just go for it. These are like 2 major arcanas also. So it's kind of like meant for things to happen for you. Very important. And number 3 is a reversal, and we have Page of Wands reversed. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Like maybe some certain things are not going to evolve fast, but rather they will evolve slow. Page of Wands is is one of the fastest cards in tarot, like including, so we will have Ace of Swords and Page of Wands. So Page of Wands could be that ace. It's also about something, it could connect to something from the past as well, but Page of Wands is about this activity and being actively involved in the process. But when it reverses, I don't know, maybe it's thunderstorm or raining, the conditions are not there. So it's not yes or it's not no. It's simply saying wait it out for now and let's see where this goes. So number 3, I'm asking if I passed over granddad, if my passed over granddad has been visiting me. That's really interesting. It's neither yes, neither no. So I think the answer would be, see, this is kind of like where the answer is very academic, probably. Yes, he did, but he was in a different spirit. It's like he had many different lives, etc. And he doesn't see himself as the granddad. He maybe sees it as a guardian angel, kind of like a thing. And maybe this is kind of like what why is the holding pattern happening. So we assign things to the people we love because we want them to be with us, but they're in a better place literally because they're having fun, and clearly they can still approach us and talk to us, and kind of like the energy does continue. Alrighty, Barbie did throw in her hat already, which is Libra. And anybody else is throwing in their hat. I'm going to be shuffling this deck while you guys do. We still need this light. Let this glaring over here. Hopefully we can do without it. Let's see. We have Libra. We have Pisces. It's better without the light. I asked about my interview this week to teach yoga. Which door did you pick? Number 3 as well. About my interview this week to teach. Kind of like don't make decision. It's good for you to be in observing mode. It's kind of like don't jump with 2 feet. Like I always see Page of Wands is somebody jumping off the cliff down in the lake, which is scary, but it's exciting, it's adventurous. It's kind of like climb down slowly, kind of like don't commit to anything, just check your surrounding kind of card. That's what I would say. All right, so we have Capricorn, Pisces, and Libra guesses. Who guessed Pisces? Kylie. Kylie is the second winner today. So Kylie, let's grab a card for you, Kylie. Oh, this one wanted to come out. Or 2. Kylie, you have Justice and you have 10 of Pentacles. So this is talking about possibly family matters. I don't know, are you in a court of some sort? This can be work. It can be balanced at work. It's kind of like a weird card because she's peeking through it. It's in a complete balance, except, I don't know, both of them are kind of hissing at each other over here. She has the law, kind of like a book over here. I really love the purpleness. You see, that's the highest possible good. And yet she has the red over here, which is the lowest. So she's saying this is kind of like a bare minimum, but I expect more of myself, but this is what I need to go by. I absolutely love this combination, Madame. It's 21. There's like something coming to culmination, something that you've been doing, you have been doing well, and you're kind of like getting those fruits and bearing those fruits. Ten of Pentacles is family being together, celebrating together, understanding the connectiveness of everything, and just like things are feeling right, literally, how it really works. So there you go. And purple and red are really 2 different combinations, but they might work over here for some reason. So this is nice, positive. Oh, I did put them in the wrong spot. Where is the other one? Oh, there it is. There it is. You go in a different deck. So you're going to have interesting times ahead. Enjoy your family. So this, who did we say? Who did you guess? Which sign was that? Oh, Pisces. Okay. So let's see. My kittens. Do we have any Pisces over here? Guys, just raise your hand if you have Pisces. One of the main things, like a sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant. But I also look the inner planets, Mercury or Venus, even Mars. It's on the other side, but it's kind of like what influences us more, which is really, really good. All right, Pisces. Let's see. Oops. We have 8 of sky. This one wants to come out, and this one wants to come out. Scratchy throat. Yeah, this card is not my favorite. I'm not going to beat around the bush, but it's really very unlike Pisces reading as well, because Pisces is very non-committal. But 8 of sky feels being stuck in a situation that is really hard to escape. This poor kitty, right? He is caught in the roots of a tree, and he is trying frantically to come out. As he's doing that, he's being scratched, and the more scratched he is, the more panic he is entering, and yet he's seeing the dark skies and the birds. It's very threatening atmosphere from the outside and inside. The only solution here is to do one step at a time and kind of like work through it. There's like nothing else that you can really do in this situation. So it's almost like the message is the more you kind of like challenge the situation, the more of a situation it will become, right? So then you have Ace of Fire, which is again something from the past being revisited, and Earth Kitten, which could be almost like Ace of Pentacles. So it's the energy maybe of feeling blocked, because the 8 of Swords to me sometimes talks about being involved in situations, and this is like no judgment on my part, but you get involved in situations with people who are not honest toward us, and they're leading us on. And then you find out that things are not as they have described it. But then you also find out that you are like now emotionally dependent on them, and you are also having your dog in fight. So for example, somebody says, oh, you know, I am separated, but she treated me so poorly, and I did everything for her, and she kind of like never seen what I'm contributing. And then you're feeling, oh, poor guy, and what a bitch. But then with this, you're getting a glimpse of, this might not be true, because you're not seeing any of these behavioral kind of patterns. And I don't know, I know I'm going on a limb with me being Aquarius, and you can tell how I process people. You're kind of like seeing a different story, but you're still emotionally engaged. You're still having that Ace of Wands over here, and that is creating a complete confusion. So what are you going to do? It's actually pretty mature thing over here. Earth Kitten is approaching things with caution and yet being open, right? So there is like this, okay, let's sniff you out. Like you're like, what is this? Is this a porcupine? Let's kind of like sniff you out. I know I can be kind of like pricked, but I'm exploring new things. It's almost like now you're seeing the person in a completely different light, but at the same time, you are willing to continue in the situation. So let's just see. Oh, we have a Pisces moon. Oh my goodness, this is like a double whammy. So let's see. What do I see? Prison. This is almost the same. And then misfortune, it's reversed. And young woman. You know what? This is a third person situation over here. I'm sorry to call it. I know there are only 3 cards. I used to make these big spreads with 20, 30 cards, which was much easier, because that's not something that I want to say lightly, because people will freak out or they don't want to acknowledge it. No, I'm the right one, and so on and so forth. It creates hurt for lots of people. This is a really interesting card, very similar to this one. She can come out if she's doing it slowly and think through every step. Same thing here. He's chained, but why is this here? Why is this vase here? Is this containing a key that he can unlock himself? That's pretty much what we can think, or a genie of some sort. But he's not able to see anything outside other than being immersed in his internal situation. So here's anxiety and here is pain that we are seeing. And then we are seeing this misfortune. This misfortune is like definitely the worst card in both decks, right? Because it will be the tower on steroids kind of a thing, right? Especially when it's reversed, right? It's way more negative, and it suggests that something is irreparable. And that is why this card kind of surprised me. Is it a mature thing, as I stated? Yes, you're still giving somebody ability to redeem and kind of like to deal with this, but you are still understanding that you can kind of like really end up not that great from all of this thing, right? So I would say you guys need to recognize that things are ending and they're changing, and that you need to rebuild, because you're rebuilding from this fire. Look at that. So who is this young woman? Is this young woman somebody next to you? Is it you? Or is it somebody who is affecting your life? This person is maybe not aware of you whatsoever, and this can also indicate a little bit of jealousy over here. It's kind of like destroying that hope for the future. Or maybe finding somebody else, much younger lover, and you're feeling dismissed, I guess, as a result, because we can see this collapsing and people are jumping from a freaking burning building. So you're trying to save yourself, but in saving yourself, you're creating even a worse thing. And we see this pattern. I'm so sorry, Pisces and Pisces moon person, Jurade. Like, this really talks about feeling deep dissatisfaction about the things that are going on in your life. And you're really trying to rebuild. You're really trying to give somebody benefit of a doubt. But I would just say proceed with a great caution. I really think this person here does not deserve your attention, or even a time of a day. And something happening, somebody who is constraining you, and you just need to be really, really aware of that. Did I forget the icon? Sorry, I did. We'll go with the next one. I'm sloppy today. Like, my back is hurting me, and it's like in the middle of the back. I don't know what it is or why it is. So it's just like, trust me, I'm dealing with and working through pain today. Okay, so which one is next? I'm going to almost open it like without giving you a chance to guess. And let's go with that. And I'll put the icon. I will not forget it now, guys. Which one? I have to give you a few seconds. I'm going to shuffle. We have Aries. We have Libra. Are we almost at the end? No. We still have a few more rounds to guess. Aries, Libra, Capricorn. How many more do we have? Oh, we do have more. I think. Around my back. No, we have Taurus. So today we really have like a lucky winners, because it looks like it's a little bit harder to guess through really thick energies. But let's put Taurus little icon, and Taurus, where are you? And let's go back and put the stamp for you, Taurus people. And let's see where this takes us. Do you think, guys, I should put some warm, what do you call it, warm therapy on my back, or is it going to get better, or is it going to make it worse? It's just like it's cut right in half. It's so freaking weird. I don't think I ever had it. So Taurus, it's 100% right, and I'm okay. Ugh. Sorry to hear it. I never like to render bad things, but I also don't want to shy away and not to say it. So because I know that there are some readers, really even know one. They even admit right out, well, I didn't like the reading. I just repeated the whole reading. That's kind of weird to me. Oh my God, Taurus. This is actually lovely. Even though this is some kind of like juggling energy here, which we are going to look into details with Gypsy deck. I can probably do this. We have this like proverbial coupling and the perfect partner here for you. Somebody appearing, somebody being there protecting you. So we have a death, we have a child, and we have a falseness over here. You see, child is upright, so it's showing a progression. But then we got into falseness, which is sort of like a dead end, that we are really not moving forward to where we should really be. Two of Pentacles is the ultimate energy, which means we are like stretched. We are not torn. We are stretched in different directions. It could be two different partners. It could be between a partner and a home. It could be, let's say, that we are not in a good financial situation to really kind of like explore the interests that we like and that we want, and hence the many things are right now on hold. But it's really talking about this energy dying, right? And maybe it simply talks about this energy wants to come back. This is very similar to, let's say, codependency. Once when you're involved in a type of relationship that is not good for you, you're saying to yourself, never again. But then you involve yourself again. And don't blame on these men and women, because it's simply their karma to resolve. They came over here to learn it. So hence, the situations will be created for them. And nobody jumps into freaking volcano. Like this is kind of like a setup. You go and look a beautiful lush mountain, look at this, and then why is this ash falling on me? Oh shit, I gotta go, I have a run, right? So this is kind of like how it happens naturally. Really innocent women find themselves in situations where they're dealing all of a sudden, oh, you forgot to tell me you're married. Oh, you just got bankrupt. Oh, you're homeless. Kind of like just jumps on you, right? Like, I mean, we did see Oprah shows and Dr. Phil or whoever it was, like basically inundated with people like that. So usually the kind of situation is like a boomerang. You throw it away, you don't want to deal with that, and it comes back to you. It comes back to you until you crush this boomerang in tiny little pieces. And that's what I see there. Like something really working on you. But you know what? Like, what is the good news with this? Nothing is just negative. This is not you going in underworld and being beaten by death and demons. You get this highs and lows, right? When these highs and lows are not as extreme, then you become a little bit more, I guess, pulled together. But here I'm seeing this kind of like really happening, and there's like, I mean, flowering of a new relationship. Something new is happening. Maybe they are just completely separated. You're like letting go of somebody because you're finding this person was just full of it, was juggling kind of like two people. Maybe the child literally was involved. Maybe there was a lie about something, or you're finding that, this is not kind of like what you wanted, how you wanted. So it's kind of like really important. But this also means that somebody or you clear this energy. And so whether this is a new cycle or not, I just really think, because these cards were kind of like focused on this one, that this is lovely, because Earth King is somebody who can take care of you. So be careful not to have this needy energy. Just because people can take care of you doesn't mean they should. But clearly there's like somebody who can provide a good guidance, who can lift you up, who can kind of like say, oh no, you don't have to go through that. We generally don't find these. It's just weird. The Earth is very attractive, but this Earth King doesn't come across very attractive, because when women are attracted to men, they're more attracted to, weird. Yes, it is. So this could be a sugar baby and sugar daddy kind of situation where you see the discrepancy. Or generally women get attracted to airheads, like air signs, right? and like this James Dean kind of like a style, like elusive guy, and then they get burned, right? Because this goes nowhere, or they get attracted to somebody who is very active and they're great lovers like fire signs, and basically kind of that's a blob. So basically our best bet for long term would be earth signs or water signs, but water signs can be too mushy for some because it's just too much raking water, but here you have water and earth, and this is a really, really good combination. So whatever you have been going through, like I mean now, like you have this clear skies, clear air, you're approaching the stage where you can really enjoy. So maybe this is also telling you, as long as you're holding on to somebody, you're not able to go in that relationship that you deserve. So that's something that you need to know. Kylie, it's not in the upper or lower, it's right somewhere in the middle. It's just like, I guess, from the waistline to maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches above the entire strip of the back. And I don't know why. I just don't know why it happened. It's just weird. And I took pain meds, and it didn't even kick in at all. And I don't want to take them more because this one was already strong as it is. So let me see. What do we have? Do we have guesses? I need to remove this sign. We're going to put this one here. So how many do we have? We have one more guess after this one. And so this is penultimate. I love that word. So let's remove Taurus. And see. Lumbar discomfort. I wish it was comfort. Like, it's just like I was not walking, like, you know how you walk straight, like I just like felt I was broken down in half, like that commercial when you feel like somebody put a painful pins in your back. And I just, for life of me, I don't know why, because I fell asleep without back pain and I woke up with a back pain. So I don't know how that came along. Why? Me. Alrighty, so we have Capricorns, Libras as guesses, but we are going to be reading Sagittarius. So Saggies, you get your little sign over here first, and timestamp. And let's see. Okay, Saggies, let's see. So we have 4 of Swords reversed. You're not taking enough of R&R, which is really important. But look, first of all, you're getting all minor arcanas, which means even if things happen, and this is kind of literally shit hits the kind of like a pot, literally, it's not a biggie deal. But it looks to me that you're a little bit defocused. You're torn in all directions in this upcoming period. It's really weird though, right? So there's this 10, which we've seen in the other one. It's kind of continuation, but you have 17, which is the star card, which talks about feeling hopeful and enthusiastic, but some plans are just not going to go as planned. And you are actually really spending so much time planning it this time. But all of together, I'm not seeing a flow for some reason in this bundle of cards. So this shows, it's almost like there are 3 individual kind of like little mementos that I'm seeing here, right? So one talks about, hey, you know what, I'm tired, I should be sleeping. Hey, I should be planning for something, and I can't do it on my own. I need help from the others. And here somebody's looking into things, and all of a sudden things explode in your face, right? So as I said, it's kind of like really hard to connect, except they have one thing in common, which is you. So there could be 3 different facets of your life, 3 different aspects that you really need to kind of like deal with it, right? And kind of like this is what is going on over here. So let's see. Yeah, Kyle, I'll call osteopath on Monday if this doesn't go away. it's just weird. I have to force myself to go in town and buy this cat and dog food, and that's going to be interesting. But you never know, maybe carrying that heavy weight might help. I kind of like believe that you kind of like, when you do exactly things that we shouldn't be doing, I'm always the opposite of what they say. Sometimes you even it out. We'll see. All right, let me see. I'm not particularly going to focus on any card over here. I just want to see what do we get. So you get lover. You get thoughtless lover. And then we get constancy. So that could be somebody coming through to your life, and maybe that's why it is somebody who is waving this flag of collaboration, and you may be thinking this is the right one because this is a really good card. When this lover card shows up, we start to flirt with somebody, things are going well, there's a clear attraction with this, you want to have babies with this person. That's kind of like all of these butterflies happening, right? This can also talking about Kylie, this can talk about doctor here, but it could be young doctor or young nurse, could be also masseuse or therapist here that I'm seeing here. As I said, this is all kind of like talking about inspiring hope and confidence over here. It's a collaborator that we see it here as well, right? And it's almost like seize the moment. It's going to be a really sliver that you really need to grasp, right? But also, I don't know, maybe it's just like your personal jaded attitude that you're saying, it's not going to work out, because with this person, it's not going to be, you know, like when you're in love for 2 weeks and then you're just not after. That's kind of like what I see, right? Because that could be also Aquarius. So you're kind of getting this flavor of somebody who is constantly reinventing and constantly changing, and somebody who is really not building anything, let's say, for the future, but he's kind of like acquiring a whole bunch of, let's say, experiences, right? And that's maybe why constancy is reversed, because she's supposed to take all of these heavy things and build something, right? It's about commitment, it's about strength, and this is about somebody who needs to kind of like take you in account and your emotions in account, but this is reversing, right? So there is a lover, but you're possibly questioning their loyalty and you're possibly questioning their sincerity, right? It's something that you are stopping yourself from jumping in with 2 feet, because maybe there is this hesitation for a reason, because this person maybe exhibits impulsive behavior. Maybe there's somebody who is unfair, not necessarily toward you, but you're kind of like picking up the stories and making your own kind of like conclusions out of it. But clearly there's like some kind of like dissatisfaction here. It could be simply that there's somebody who is unfaithful, somebody who you feel really good with, but very quickly, quote unquote, this explodes in your face, as I told you. And this is a 10 of fire, not 9 of fire. So when it comes to 10 of fire, 9 is very similar. They're sitting around this fire pit and they're looking at it, and like, it starts to go everywhere, right? So it's that moment, because very soon it's just going to kind of like cut it down. So, but in this moment, it's telling us we just cannot take it on. It's just like too much. This also talks about secrecies, and it can talk about lies, but ultimately saying that you took too big of the bite to chew, and to kind of like tone it down and kind of like deal with that. And that's very important. So I would just say here, guys, proceed with caution, because that's very, very important here to know. So Aquarius or Libra here could be this type of like people that I see who have good intentions. We see these good intentions, but they change so quickly that you're expecting them to follow this path, but they're like somewhere all over the place, and hence this might not fit your lifestyle, this might not fit who you are, and ultimately you're discarding them. And I think this is what is happening, right? So we'll see. Let's see. When I get big bags of food, ask someone from the store to carry. Yeah, I'll have to do it. I usually like to do it myself, but I guess I'm going to ask them. I already have the bird food in my trunk that I still didn't take out, so I guess we're just going to add, because I like to buy this in bulk. Tyler gets really expensive food because I think this expensive food ultimately costs me less in veterinary care and everything. But you know, there are big bags of 30-40 pounds, so that's what I need to grab. All right, so I think this is the last guess, and let's see. I need to remove this icon of Sagittarius. So we have Aries, we have Libra, we have Capricorn. I have 4 actually in it because we still have Cancer, one of them, but if it is, I'm just going to use it for this while you guys are guessing. Let me shuffle a little bit. Ooh, we have already a card coming through, Consequences. So I don't think this is coming for the sign because it didn't jump in a sign. I think this is coming for us on live. It's good, it's upright. It's telling that we are clearing some kind of like situation. There's like something that is like detangling. We need to get to the core of the problem, or cut through it, or just cut our losses. There's like something, the message is coming to somebody over here. Very important to take it. So guys, if this is for you, just lift your hand and let's see. We are uniform. You all are voting Capricorn over here, so let's see. But it will be Aries. So this was much for our guessing. I'm going to be next. Actually, you can do one more guess. I'll let one more guess go. That's exception because that's really easy to guess at this stage. All right, so what did I say? We are doing Aries. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the foam roller self-therapy first and see, because interestingly I can bend forward, but I just cannot walk normally. So it's really weird motion that I have. So Aries, your timestamp. 1:56. I'm sort of right on time today. Oh, you guys did guess Aries? Oh, Chris guessed Aries. I think he did. You're probably delayed. So Chris, I'm going to pull the card for you. Yeah. Because then Barbie called Aries. Whenever she capitalized, that's when I kind of like cut things off. So yeah, I think Chris said Aries. So Chris, you're getting the Hangman. So you're finding in a situation that you willfully put yourself in. Look at him. He is almost like a Houdini situation with 2 locks. Your feet are locked, your hands are locked. But he's doing that because he wants to challenge himself. Generally, this card talks about us putting ourselves in a situation where we want to please somebody, where we want to, where we are like I'm in a kind of like butting heads with somebody, and now we are saying, okay, fine, let it be your way, I'll do everything your way. So you are kind of like walking that part of the way with them, doing things as they want, but you're not necessarily sold on it, right? You're not necessarily acquiring this as your MO. You're really going in this direction, hoping things are going to work out. But what you need to understand, you're getting something very valuable over here, which is understanding how this person functions. And it's going to give you an insight an understanding of how to proceed. The Hangman is also God who now understands the ways of living in this 3D dimension where, things are not necessarily godly, and sometimes up is down, down is up. So it's a change of perspective that is going to help you kind of like see things more in the future. So I really hope so. Is he gagged? Where did I put him? Let me see. Oh man, so you're talking about games, quote unquote. Where did I put a Hangman? Of course, it's going to be somewhere in the middle or in the last part. Oh, there he is. Is he gagged? No, he isn't. He's very peaceful and quite frankly enjoying himself in the process. It almost like this person right now doesn't have to control anything, doesn't have to be responsible for any results. It's just simply going with doing what he or she is being told, in your case what you're being told, and just like feels for a moment, okay, you want me like handcuffed, you want me all of this stuff, fine with me, kind of a thing, right? It doesn't necessarily mean this is like a permanent situation, but right now it's a way of nurturing of some sort. It's, for example, you have a family member and you, for the life of you can't understand where they're coming from, but instead of like fighting with them, you're saying, okay, I'll just go along with all of this, and with that you're learning a little bit actually more about them. So that's kind of like how I see this card. All right, so that was Aries, right? Oh, that's the next one over here. So let's do Aries. And sorry, Aries, for the little bit distraction, but yeah, you're coming up. So Aries. So we are dealing here with Six of Earth reversed. Feeling that somebody is getting more than they should be. There's like no equal division of some sort, and I think there is like not one but two cards coming through. Somebody's getting more than the others. Like you are at a fork. You're wondering the direction you need to take and how to take it. There's lots of moral dilemma in this case. What is the right thing to do? There is the priest over here coming through, but look at this, the major arcanas add to 15 and the minor arcanas add to 7, and altogether is 22, which is a master number. So these decisions are going to have long echo in the future, right? I think the priest being like sort of like a central-ish card and being really prominent here. You can see the black cat here on a pedestal and kind of like spinning his little balls of fortune, which also has the cat eyes and nose here as well. The senses are also being affected. And this card is also very important because how many of us open the doors for the kitty and kitty now doesn't want to go out? It sits right there. It's kind of like here I have the warmth and place, but here I have the open space. What do I want to do? And there is like really lovely to see that they're putting like their thought in it. They're like really debating this. There's like a new cycle starting for you, my dear Aries. There is this wheel of fortune. Right now it is on your side. So just keep in mind what you're doing right now has to be done in your highest interest, in your highest good. But also you cannot put others down as a result, because this is connecting. And as I said, when it connects to 15 is the devil card in here. So I don't know if you're dealing with Taurus, if you're dealing with Sagittarius, or you're dealing with Capricorn, but you might be just simply dealing with that codependent energy where, now like you're almost like in the zone, like nothing can happen to you, you can do anything, but these very actions that you do might come back in the future because this karmic power is cyclical. It's asking of you to do what is right. It's really, really strongly talking about it because somebody is not getting what they should be getting, and you're like on the edge. What do? Do I straighten this problem, or do I iron it out? Do I not? So let's kind of clarify. This is very clear to me. Like, the directive is clear. Like, you cannot, like the Star Trek directive, you cannot interfere, kind of a thing, because you're going to mess up their destiny. But here it's kind of like giving us, like with this minor arcanas, a little bit more leeway in kind of like what needs to happen. So we have here service. So we have Aries rising over here, okay. And then we have, oh my gosh, we have a service and we have a servant. So you're thinking you're doing something, somebody else is thinking you're not doing something. So you can see this conflict. So how can the same thing be seen from so different angles? And then we have surprise and fortune, and this is kind of linking here. So what is up, what is down? It's a huge indecisiveness that is really happening. The service, it's kind of like rolling out the carpet. It can simply mean that somebody's helping you and you're getting royal treatment, or that you are giving somebody royal treatment. At least you think you're doing this, right? It could be work. It could be helpful stuff. Somebody kind of like doing a duty. But this is still talking about unclear motives, which kind of like we have seen from tarot part as well. And also tells me that you're maybe blindly trusting to some people around you or people who work for you. You really need to be really clear and factual in the situation, right? It's kind of like really interesting because there's like something to gain from the situation. And we can see it here because that's the proverbial in the regular rider weight. We see the guy with the scale and measuring how much he gives to everybody. So it's almost like the will, the last will, when you give to every kid 3 something, right? So they're all getting equal. Sometimes it's hard to divide that way, but it's kind of like done. Versus when it reverses, oh, you get this, who cares, I don't care, kind of like a thing where, like, I mean, this can really shift the destiny of the others, right? This being reversed is talking about disrespect of a sort, right? And somebody who was caring is now becoming very uncaring. Maid can symbolize a caregiver, right? Or a person of trust. But when it's reversed, it's a betrayal, right? Somebody who takes an advantage or who is unproductive or lazy, and that kind of like little kind of like finesses having a big impact on a situation, right? It's kind of like weird because you, I feel, are going to completely disregard all of this if you're listening to this, because you are in the zone. Things are happening, things are going for you, you're getting this yes people nodding. But maybe what you're not understanding is like that everybody here is playing their own agenda. They're like maybe aligning with you this part of the way because it's beneficial. So there's like something that really needs to be taken into account. So this is a big warning that you need to do it. If you do it, if you don't do it, you will be coming back to this reading and say, why haven't I? So Aries, it's something telling you that everything is going your way. But if you do not do it in the highest good of everyone, not only of you, but of everyone, things are not going to end well. So, but for the meantime, everything is going to be absolutely fantastic. So the last guesses are, I see Capricorn over here, and let's remove the icon because we are just on Capricorn and Libra, I guess, but I have 3 of them. And if, let's see, where is it? Let's remove Aries, and Capricorn is a good guess. So let's see, Capricorn, Libra. Oh, somebody will win for sure. Okay, guys, unique opportunity. There's like a 50-50 chance. Is it either Capricorn or Libra? You can throw in your hat. Okay, this is shuffled. Something did also come as a message to all of us. Be careful, watch your back. Somebody's taking behind your back. Prevent it, or don't put yourself in a situation where you are vulnerable. So let me see who is going to be the winner. And Kylie, you are on the freaking roll today. So let's see, Libra. But Kylie's question goes first. Kylie, what do I see over here? Kylie, it's reversed 4 of Wands. Well, that's one of those cards that it doesn't matter if it's up or down. It's always a card of celebration. I would say when it's up, it's really talking about the big things. It's like a wedding. It can be big and small. So ultimately it's just a wedding, right? So whether it is, so here it's something more moderate, and I would say it's something that was expected, and so you are on some kind of path which is basically telling you to stay on it, is going to reach this next level, is going to get you somewhere where you really wanted. 4 Wands is success card, and it's a celebration card, and it's of some sort stability in your life. So it's all good, except it's not going to be all the fanfare and extravagance. It's just going to be a regular nice affair. So another person who's going to benefit is going to be Barbie, because she's Libra. So let's give a round of applause to Barbie. She is doing this in and out every single live that we have, monitoring the signs. So thank you, and thank you for all the other mods. They're always there, and I think because I put so many mods, and we don't get intruders very rarely, I guess, that we get stuff. It's just minimal. So let me see. Libra, well, of course you have Two of Sky. And again, it's like something connecting with that new moon over here. So you're talking somewhere, is it around the 25th, I would say, this month. But then you have the Empress, which is your card. You are ruled by Venus. Empress is ruled by Venus, and you have 6 of Fire. It's the card of winning. So this is you. I am Libra. I walk up. What do I do today? I don't know. I should be doing that and that and that. It takes one to know one, right? My original ascendant is Libra, even though now where I live shifted to Leo. But I still have this Libra buried in me in the original configuration. So if you ever guys get this like bigger readings with me, like a karma reading, I always also look in your astrological kind of like configuration there. So this is really interesting. So we are talking 11. Look at it, 6 and 3 is 9 and 2 is 11. It is about the healing process of some sort, but this is your time to shine. There's something going on because there is like some debate taking place. Two of Sky is that feeling that you have, where almost like there are two simultaneous things happening, and there is a rain again outside. And one thing is something that, like, they're like two evils almost, and you're almost like picking one that is less impactful, but you're really thinking and mulling it over, and neither of them you really don't feel them. Like the interpretation when I was studying the archetypes said, oh, it's a choice between your head and heart. No, but it isn't. It cannot be. They're swords. Swords are not about heart. Swords are about rightfulness and interpretation of the things. And there's like somebody holding this like two swords and making this decision, and it's very important decision though. But it looks like in your case, whatever it was burdening you, you have managed to overcome, because you are getting to this Emperor state, and Emperor state is like feeling comfort about you, as especially if you're a woman, then you feel really good in your skin, you feel attractive, you feel that people are coming to you, there is like harmony in a family. And if you're a man, this simply means that, you know, you're going to see a woman or meet a woman, or you know of a woman who is on such a big pedestal for you, that for you she's a perfect woman, she's a catch if you wish, right? But if you're a woman, you're feeling yourself as a catch already. So it's kind of like a good to have like this really ultimate confidence in ourselves from time to time. And then Six of Fire talks about that it's not only that, you know, like you can have this feeling all you want, but then you also know reality. After all, we are dealing with Libra. Libra is an air sign. Even though they look mushy, they look like kind of water sign. Oh, try to piss them off. You're going to find out how they are not, right? And so basically over here, we see that other people giving you that acknowledgement, other people saying, oh, you're right, or you were right, and I wish I kind of like listened to you more. I wish I followed more. So it's overall a really kind of like a good, interesting process that, you know, all you had to do is be yourself, and things actually really happen over here. So that is very important. Sally, yes, we are still alive. Thanks for coming back. Joining in. So let me just see what we get here. Oh, Libra moon. So what we have is what we have is service, widower, and gift reversed, which is really interesting because this is all about gifts. It's about, like, I don't know, can you see it? All the kitties are bringing stuff, catnip, fish, and stuff. It's just like something that is really meaningful, either as a toy or as a nourishment, and it's kind of going in this way. So service and widower, it's also very nurturing kind of thing. The widower card to me is like somebody who is now recovered from the shock or something that life brought to you under your feet and that collapsed you. It's interestingly that he has gloves. He's still kind of like not going right in it, right? So he's still kind of like sad and mourning the loss of his dear wife, which we can see. What is this? Miyakara Mowgli. I need to get my glasses for this, but like Miyakara, we know it's somebody beloved, right? So when we are going through this loneliness and we are going through regret, like, so we are still dealing, we're actually dealing with us. We're not dealing with them. They're gone. They are passed on. They are in a different kind of like form. They're like on the other side, right? So on the other side, they're happy. On the other side, they don't have pains, they don't have burdens, they're like free spirit, really. They're not burdened with the body we live in, they're not burdened with the disease that we have, they're not burdened with any kind of like hardships or anything. But we miss them because we have this connection with them. It's kind of like hard, like this is one of those things in 3D dimensions too hard to let go, right? Being lonely or feeling that was ruptured, right? Or even sometimes they leave without us telling everything you wanted to say. So hence, you know, like we are unable to deal with the consequences, or like with everything that has happened, it didn't reach the closure, kind of like, if you wish, right? So it is upright card. So it's not very positive. It's really more positive when it's reversed. And this is also kind of like a negative card, which I think they all must be linking to this indecisiveness over here. So it could have been that you are either dealing with some feelings of loss, and it could be even financial loss for you guys, because something financial is not coming through. It's also telling me at the same time that you're like creating certain energy, and that you have to be extremely positive, that this doubt that is kind of like introduced, that's kind of like fear that something is going to end abruptly, is kind of like causing issues in just basically, let's say, in universe gifting you and doing it. Because gift, I don't like when it reverses, because this is about winnings, this is about inheritance. But when it reverses, it represents a loss of some kind of like kind. It could be simply that you're not receiving a gift or inheritance or something like along these lines. But it can also represent sometimes inability to save money. So if this is the case, then you really need to go in who you are and find love and richness in your surroundings. No matter where you are, you can be loved and you can be rich. It's just like you need to see it through different eyes, right? You need to find what kind of creates comfort for you, and you need to find, oh, these cards are cut off from here, and you really need to find if you have people who you can be showing the care and love toward, and if If there is really nobody like that, then at the very least you owe it to yourself, right? So that's kind of like where this kind of like plays, right? So it's, be very careful also, because this is a big warning about the loss of some kind of money. But you're winning the money and then you're losing money. So this is where this message gets a little bit confusing, and this is telling me that maybe you're getting something that is being squandered or given away, and this is warning you against it, right? It's a good thing we don't have a thief card, because I would talk about some kind of scam over here. But you know, like, this is the card suggesting victory, and this can be a positive combination. I'm not reading just gypsy cards separately and tarot cards separately. I'm reading them in combination, right? So it can be seen as success or achievement. I don't know, did you have, guys, some maybe long period of let's say economic dependence of some sort? Maybe you were biding your time, that's why you have the service card, and there was like some kind of like pain associated, or loneliness, or feeling isolated. So now this can come through, but it's again warning you not to squander it if it happens. So look out, and I want my 10% because you heard it here on Cat Tarot. I really hope this happens. So Kylie says, we come from love and return to love, and you leave this world. Is it love? I guess love is a universal feeling. I think it's being content. It's kind of weird, like how people describe this kind of like situations. They talk about kind of like being very accepting of the others, which I think is like really quality that is very rare that we have. So we have only one more left, and I forgot to put Libra, a little icon. So we are coming to Capricorn to do it. And let me see, would it be the Capricorn, the first one or the second one I would open? Capricorn, first one, so this one must be Cancer, I guess. Yes, Effie, hi! You want to say hi to everybody? Do you love me? Do you love everybody? Do you love everybody on Cat Tarot? Do you love kittens? Really? You do? Do you love Tiger? Okay, that was like hesitation, but it did come through. Okay, fine. And then she goes right into his face and she's kissing him, and he's like, what did I do? What did I do? All right, Capricorns, let's go with you, and we'll have the doors after that. So we kind of like it then clear on the energies that are happening this month, upcoming transit. So yes, you have to write this in. This is how it was since I got kittens. She needs a lot of affirmation that everything is fine, that everything is going on. So yes, we did Cancer after Gemini. That was the second one. Capricorn. I don't know, guys, if you have been here with me from the beginning, because Safi inspired the name of this channel and everything. She was like almost like a white with gray spots. Now she's almost like gray hair, so you can tell that she's aging. She's like 9 years old at this stage. Oh, there is a little girl kitten. She's becoming more outgoing, which is important. So Capricorn. So we have 8 of C. That's interesting. You're looking and something is whispering in your ear about the distant horizons. And then you have 5 of Fire, and then you have the Emperor. Look at how lovely interpretation this is. You're listening all this like echoes that you have listened to Wizard of Oz previously, and it's kind of like what is out there is a curiosity. It's kind of like when we are content, and instead of like enjoying, can you hear this? Oh, look at that. The kitten didn't give up. She said, I really want to go to my kitten's food. And she moved Safi. That's new one. So see, it's a new character of my little Jasper. It's a working name for her. So Capricorns are content, but they're like feeling that they need to shake things up a little bit, because look at this 8 and 5. 13, kind of like death card, Scorpio involved over here. But it's 13 and 4 is 17. So it could be Scorpio, could be Aquarius, could be Aries, right? That we see so far going on. 5 of Fire is, even though you can see kittens playing, they're still establishing kind of like ritualistic dominance and hierarchy over here in about what is happening. Technically, in the original archetypes, we are talking about different religions, all kind of like having a good points, but all kind of like trying to figure out to how far they can push. So kind of like setting that proverbial line in the sand. And even at that, it's going to be a space in the middle that's going to look like a pentacle. And that's where we step in. That's where tarot steps in. And that's why I love tarot so much, because you don't depend on it. These are all kind of like different doors you can enter and you can explore more. And it's going to be same old pretty much in every door, except it's going to be interpreted in a completely different version, where the center is like more neutral. You're like absorbing everything from everywhere that is universal, and that kind of like really works in this direction. So for you guys, you're coming in a complete control. You're feeling on the top. You're feeling like a winner. You're in charge. It could be the patriarch of the family. It could be that you're feeling, if you're a man, very masculine. If you're female, maybe you're meeting somebody who is your ideal man of a sort. So let me just see what additional explanation we have. And Kitty is cleaning herself, so I guess we'll get some kind of visitors happening over here. So let's see. Ooh, nothing is jumping, so let's go. So we have merchant, that's good business, with a young woman, and then we have a thief that reversed. So merchant is really talking about a successful business venture, or maybe meeting a new person during your business dealings or during your work life of some sort. It's kind of like interesting that they have this card as an archetype, because it talks about finances, it's a profits, investments, being skilled in business, good business decisions. But it can also talk about somebody who's cunning and crafty or greedy and kind of like devious, right? So it's not reversed, so it's not this. But if it comes to love, it talks about maybe meeting somebody new, and that might be a little secretive to start, right? It's really interesting. So it's a positive answer of some sort, but it's also kind of like can talk about older man, younger woman situation over here that we see. And somebody here is a heavier, like not somebody kind of like gain weight for some reason, or that gain weight can also kind of translate in gaining money, right? Because everything about the situation is about gaining. It's kind of like really good omen, if you wish. This card is rarely negative when it's upright. That is really happening. That kind of like is that proverbial King of Pentacles that we see over here in your Capricorn, which you are that freaking King of Pentacles. So it's that kind of like double whammy that we are talking about it. So the thief luckily reversed, right? Because thief, clearly he's entering this room through the window, and it's not only they're showing the thief, they're showing a shadow as well. So there's like somebody who knows you well, who can harm you, right? That kind of like is clearly indication of a sort that is happening. It also can talk about the deception and betrayal, but when it reverses, it's kind of like talking about somebody being exposed, because we have pretty much all the other positive cards. So this card is almost like isolated at this stage, right? So Be careful though that it could be some kind of falsification of documents, and that is clearly relating to this younger lady or younger person as well. So even though somebody comes and appears to be like solution, that solution is coming with conditions attached, to say it right. Any case, you're going to feel that you were kind of confident in certain situation, and that you misplaced this confidence, and that somebody is actually taking advantage of the situation. So but I also feel that you will narrowly escape it, any harm that is coming to you, because the Emperor is here, and it's almost like you'll be standing, like I'm seeing a vision of man standing on a door with a gun and seeing this thief, so the thief is just kind of like running away. So clearly like something is narrowly escaped, but it's still kind of like giving you insight about somebody who should have known, who could have known this information, and so you only had like few people. I don't know, is it a safe in your house or something? It was like only a few people who could have done it, and so you're kind of backtracking what you said to who you said to kind of like see why this happened, and that's going to even help you get even in a greater control. And that's why I think you have this 17 over here, because you're rebuilding. You're not taking this as a negativity. You're not devastated by this person. You're actually just really learning out of the situation. So that is kind of like really interesting. And that's it in terms of the readings. As Barbie said, we are going to pull the second doors, the last doors. So guys, think of the question that you may have, and let's go with that. Oh, I have to close this here. Here we go. Let me shuffle. Ooh, I didn't write the doors number 1. Oh well. We'll try to figure it out later. So the first one is here. The second one is here. And the third one is here. All right. All right, let's go back to you guys, and a stamp. Oh, it was a 2.5 hours, you guys with me. Thanks for putting up with everything. So let's go. Not the same as before. You cannot ask the same question. It doesn't make sense. It's beating a dead horse. And sometimes it happens when you want to force it, that the universe says which part you didn't understand. If you cannot understand, I'm just going to throw at you. If you ever try to use this Chinese divination, I Ching, sometimes you get exact answer. Don't ask. Just don't ask, or else. And then they kind of like storm down on you, they create something. So that's something to know. So we have number 2, we have number 3. So number 1, we have 5 of Wands. And this is again some kind of like lovely debate taking place. So basically the greatest debater wins here. So since the question is yes or no, you will really have to present and defend your own arguments, and it's going to be very important for this. So it all depends on you. But if you really look at it, like the fire is already burning over here, and they are like still you have to be sensitive on the surroundings as well, and it's going to really play the role. Number 2, ECAT, you have Queen of Cups reversed. Sorry to say, I would think there will be no, because it's going to be some emotional event, or a person who is kind of like overly emotional. It could be a water sign who is using these emotions to control the situation. So something that maybe could have happened and was on a trajectory to happen was now just taken out. So for example, like I say to somebody, I'm going to do your reading next week. And then it happens, right? Like, I mean, I have to now watch the dad in a hospital, I watch the mom in a hospital, and literally you're engaging with all these people, and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm just like worn out. I just can't pull enough intuition to do it, and it postpones. So that's kind of like one of those situations where it's off the tangent, going in a different direction. Unfortunately, that can have negative consequences for the future. And door number 3, we have the Hangman reversed. Now, that's an interesting card. We didn't, I think, ever had it as in a yes or no, because this one is a yes, but it's not a good news. Yes means, yes, you're going to get your way, but be very careful, because it's going to come out that you did something to take advantage of something. You didn't do it in everybody's highest interest. You're just saying you are changed, you're doing things differently, but you are not. It's a weird thing, because this card demands sacrifice, and when the Hangman is reversed, the sacrifice doesn't happen, yet the person keeps saying how much the sacrifice and everything that really happens. So there you go. Kind of like, keep this in mind, guys. But you know what? If there's something smaller or something dealing smaller, who cares? Just, deal with this. It can happen. So we are at the end. Thank you so much. 2.5 hours. The next one is going to be a little bit shorter. 2nd of July is the next. Hopefully you will have time to jump the festive weekend. I guess the Americans are having is this the week you're doing the whole week celebrations? At least the first falls on Friday, so we can have this long weekend. And you have it on Monday, so this is almost like a deal. You will have your holidays as well. So in any case, I'm going to be here. I generally like to escape holidays because people have better things to do, but I will do this and we will continue. Or did I say last week that it might be a 3-week spot? Let me see if I switch it. Which will be the next one? Will be the 9th. What do you guys think? Should I do it? Are you going to be here if I do it for the 4th of July in that weekend, or you have things to do? Just please tell me, so that way we can make this decision and go with this. Needing yoga, could be the Hangman, be another person than yourself. Yes, absolutely. And that's right. Everything looks positive. Everything is going in a great direction. And then you realize, like let's say you have a business partner and they're assuring you that everything is going to happen, everything is going well, and you're like so happy everything is going, and then you find out that they didn't make a deposit, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It's like, oh my god, but they were saying all of that and you were assured, and that's kind of like where things happen. Kylie goes for 9th of July. Let's see the others, guys. Barbie, Sally, Chris. Should we do the 2nd or the 9th? Or should we skip the 2nd, and that way it's going to be 3 weeks? But I can get some rest as well. It might make sense. Let me see if I have the 9th. Yeah, let's do the 9th. This is June, this is July. Yeah, that will push me back on track in terms of the readings. So let's do the 9th. I'm going to write it in. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you. Luckily when I sit, I'm not in pain. I'm just a little bit, Quasimodo from the Les Miserables, and I'm just a little bit hunched down. But hopefully my little foam roller can do the trick enough for me to get to the pet store and back. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful 3 weeks now, and I'll be talking to you very, very soon. So in the meantime, you can use my email, or the people who already joined our mod group. I can be asked questions there, but let's go from there. So all the best. Talk to you soon. Have a wonderful transit. Don't forget to nurture yourself. Don't forget to nurture your others. That's what the Cancer transit is. But Cancer transit also is about putting your business head on, trying to think about kind of what direction we want to take and go from there. Okay, so we have the 9th, we have consensus. It's quite a few people. Thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you then. All the best. Love you. Yeah.